Hello YouTube, welcome back to the Aristotle Clans channel. It is me, the Drip Kage, here with another what if. This what if being what if Sasuke gave Naruto his sharingan. Let's get into the what if.
Hey, stoner thoughts, buzzing up my brain, wondering if I'll make it or am I going insane? And then everybody they tell me I should stay in my lane, but my best is yet to come, so I swear to God I'ma stay, yeah, baby, hit me up with.
Alright, so this is part 2 of what if Sasuke gave Naruto his sharingan, so let's get into it. So Naruto will begin basically walking towards the Chunin exams arena. Well, not arena. Damn, I forgot that has happened yet. Towards the meeting place that he has set up with Sakura. Well, that Kakashi set up for him and Sakura 2 days earlier. And Naruto walking there could be not. At the moment, we're still wearing his same orange jumpsuit. Now, I wanted him to change. I do. I wanted him to make a special appearance in the inside of the in the third part of the exam. So yes, that won't be happening. Not yet. Anyways, Naruto say, they said I should pass this exam. Should be relatively easy for someone of my power. As yes, this is my way of going into Naruto's power level. So yes, I will try to take in, Dragon Ball power levels to Naruto and adjust them to the Naruto world. So the Rikudo Sennin stands at a good whopping 100 million in power level. Nah, that's not even good enough. 200 million in power level, with Hashirama standing at a good 50 million and Hiruzen at a good 30 million, or 25 million. And Jonis, they go from the rank of what? Well, if you know, because some Jonis can go to Kage level, which are around like a million to up to 20 million. Naruto stand as the good like 2 million power level, which makes him much of a mere tier Jonin in overall skills. Now, in overall, Itachi said that Naruto's genjutsu with the Mangekyo is very high, and says that Naruto's that basically well, how does he say this? That with the Rinnegan, Naruto's genjutsu is so high that he thinks that no other genjutsu could truly work on Naruto unless it's Rinnegan, unless other Rinnegan, cast the genjutsu. But Naruto's Rinnegan is kind of a mix between the Rinnegan and the Sharingan. So he would suggest that only a Rinnegan with the same pattern and that is stronger than Naruto's could do this, could put Naruto in the genjutsu. Naruto's ninjutsu levels stand around high Jonin, and his taijutsu stand around low to mid tier Jonin, and kenjutsu and things like that. This is a good high Chunin, mid Jonin. So he's in that range. Around overall like around mid tier Jonin, maybe mid to high tier Jonin. Not Kakashi level Jonin, but yeah, he's up there. But if he was to go all out with the Rinnegan, which Naruto has had to do because he's had to train outside of the basically outside of the arena, or not the arena. Actually, he won't get. He's allowed 2 abilities. This being Universal Pull and Bench, Almighty Push, Shinra Tensei, and Bencho Tenin. I was trying to think of what they were called for a second. Anyways, yes, so Naruto has unlocked these things. And let's just say Jiraiya has decided to train Naruto somewhere else for the finals. Because let's be honest, a Rinnegan Naruto is not going to fake it. I mean, he's not going to lose any match. Especially if he knows if his Sharingan can be activated and deactivated. But there's one cruel detail I forgot. Well, not cruel, one crucial detail. Naruto is constantly covering his Rinnegan eye with a headband. And his headband puts an obscure... Jiraiya put a seal that Naruto's one day had to force not all of his chakra. Like a good 90% of his chakra into the seal. Now, eventually, when he lifts his head, when he stops. This headband is like a second circle storage, but it's also to where not even a Byakugan can see what's behind Naruto's eye. Nothing can see behind Naruto's eye at all. What Naruto's covering, actually. So, Naruto and Sakura meet up, and Sakura says, "Wow, Naruto, you really took after Kakashi Sensei." Naruto, Chuckle says, "Something happened to my eye that forces me to do it like this." Says, "Did you, is your eye hurt?" "Yes, but it's pretty gruesome." Naruto will just blatantly lie to Sakura because the world will not yet know of his dojutsu until the Chunin exams. Anyways, Naruto would tell Sakura that they should go, that they might be late. And Sakura was, and Naruto would head off. And this is when, before they make it there, Konohamaru would approach Naruto and ask him to play ninja. Now, Naruto has not been available to play ninja with Konohamaru for the past couple months. And when Konohamaru once found Naruto, Naruto said that he'll play with him once his training is done for now. Once his training is done. Not like after he's done training that day, once his training is like fully completed. So anyways, moving on, Naruto and Konohamaru will begin to talk, because Naruto will then tell Konohamaru that he can't play ninja, that today is the day of the Chunin exams, that they have to go. As Konohamaru will then see Sakura, she will ask Naruto, is Sakura his girlfriend? As Naruto will blush, she will say, sadly no. Now Sakura will wonder, why would Naruto want her to be his girlfriend? Doesn't he hate her eyebrows? Didn't he only want her to be his girlfriend just to spite Sasuke? She's constantly thinking about this, because this is what she thought. This is why she thought Naruto had loved her, or quote unquote loved her. As Konohamaru begins to make fun of Sakura's forehead and her pink hair, which Naruto will tell Konohamaru to run, and he will take off after Konohamaru, because he knows when Sakura is angry, she'll hit anything close by, and he's close by. So him and Konohamaru will continue to run. As Naruto would then hear a loud crash after he passed by by two teens, one in black and one in a catsuit and the other with a big fan on her back and blonde hair. As Naruto would then hear, "Let me go, put me down." As Naruto would turn around and see the kid in the black catsuit would say, "No, you need to learn some manners and apologize." As Konohamaru says, but as the man is about to hit Konohamaru, as Naruto lifts not his eye patch, his headband up slightly, just so his Rinnegan can keep Konohamaru in sight. As Naruto switched places with Konohamaru, an ability the sages his past told Naruto. Now let's be honest, if Sasuke could come out of the war arc, in the war arc, can get the Rinnegan and automatically know about the jutsu, of course Naruto can. Why wouldn't he be able to? So, anyways, moving on. Naruto would appear in Kankuro's hand, as Naruto would then deliver a swift upper kick. Basically an uppercut, but a kick to Kankuro's chin. Kankuro, see why you? As Naruto disappears in a puff of smoke. As Naruto appears behind him, but not in a puff of smoke. This was basically the one that hit Kankuro was a shadow clone. As Naruto holds the kunai to his throat and says, "I don't think your friend over there is very happy with what you've done." Kankuro and Temari would look at where Naruto was pointing, and they would see Gaara there. As Gaara would say, "You," as he appears in front of Naruto, or beside Naruto, "What is your name?" Naruto says, "Naruto Uzumaki." So, "I'm Gaara of the Sand. Nice to meet you, and I can't wait to kill you." "Kankuro, Temari, let's go, before you embarrass our village even more, and I'll have to kill you both right here and now." So Kankuro and Temari would tense up and would then run off, and Kankuro would tell Naruto that this isn't over, that he'll see him in the Chunin exams. Naruto says, "I guess." Sakura asks Naruto what was that ability that he used. Naruto says it's an ability of his that he's learned within the past 3 months that only he can do at the moment. Well, as far as he knows, only he could perform. And Sakura, will accept this and say, "Well, that's a cool ability, I guess." He says you with the shadow clones has gotten even better. And Sakura has forgotten all about her anger with Konohamaru. And Naruto says, yeah, I guess it's gotten better. But we should really go. We're almost late. Sakura would say, oh, right. As her and Naruto would basically go on to the not the arena, but the academy, where they will come across a place, across the second floor where there is apparently a group of people trying to, but no, there's a group of people apparently, that's what I was trying to say, enter room 301. But Naruto with it, actually, with hanging around Itachi, Naruto will be able to see through this Genjutsu without the Sharingan or the Rinnegan. As Naruto will tell Sakura that they need to go now. Sakura will nod, and she would then say, wait, but this is, Sakura then realized that this is the Genjutsu. She will post her chakra, which isn't very much, so no one will really notice it. As she would say, oh, I see, as her and Naruto will continue on. Now, they're not stopped by Rock Lee due to the fact is that everyone knows that Sasuke Uchiha is dead. And Hiruzen has Sasuke Uchiha cremated, with leaving no trail by Itachi with the Amaterasu, leaving no trace of, any DNA for anyone to, clone him, or do some experiments with his DNA and try to create the Uchiha clan for their own whim if anyone wants to get any of his DNA. So Naruto would be and Sakura will walk up as they will see Kakashi. Kakashi says, welcome. I may have to warn you. You two are going to be the only two-man team inside of here. So Naruto says, why? Kakashi says, well, the Hokage made an exception only because you were participating, Naruto. Naruto would then have a flashback as Hiruzen would then ask Naruto, you know about the Chunin exams. Naruto says, what's that? Hiruzen says, I guess you didn't study. Naruto says, damn it, he caught me. As Hiruzen says, well, Naruto, the Chunin exams is a, I believe it's the right term is semi-annually event that's held by a village, one of the 5 major villages. It's basically something to replace war, and I'm not really good at describing the Chunin exams. It's the one thing I truly cannot describe, or one of the few things I cannot describe in Naruto. Anyways, he would tell Naruto that Chunin exams is his way to be promoted to Chunin, and that if he participates, that him and Sakura will be able to go because he'll make an exception, and for them to. Naruto wouldn't think much of it and would just say, yeah, he'll love to do this. Now, Kakashi would approach Sakura, and Sakura would then agree, saying that if this is a chance for her to, prove that she's gotten stronger under the Kurenai, and for her to, be promoted to Chunin. So, flashback in. Naruto says, so this is the exception that he said he was making. As Kakashi went on to say, Sakura says, what are you two talking about? Naruto says, something with the Hokage. Kakashi says, here, go on in there. And as he would lean into Naruto's ear and would say, hey, the people are now projecting their killing against him. I suggest that you show them their, basically show them where they stand against you. Naruto would smirk. As one thing Naruto has been able to do is been able to release the Kyuubi's killing intent throughout, from his training with Jiraiya Jiraiya, Kakashi, Itachi. With Jiraiya being able to control use the seals on him, as Kakashi and Itachi being able to put Naruto on the Genjutsu to stop him from rampaging and everything. So moving on, Naruto will walk past Kakashi as they would enter into the place. As Naruto would then walk in and would say, hey everyone, Naruto Uzumaki is here and he has an open challenge for all of you. Bring it. As a voice behind him says, wow, you're pretty cocky. Man, this is such a drag. Naruto said, I know that anywhere. Hey Shikamaru. As Naruto will see Ino, who Naruto could notice is shooting glances at him, but they're more of on the side of anger, yet not understand anger. I can't really describe the second feeling, but it's not fully anger. Naruto will walk up to Shikamaru and ask, "What's wrong with Ino?" As Shikamaru would tell Naruto that Ino somewhat blames him for Sasuke's death. As Naruto say, why would she blame him? She says that the village was told that Sasuke had jumped in front of you to save you from those Senbon attack, and had, kind of got hit in vital spots and died. Naruto says, I didn't really expect anyone else to know about that, but I guess so. So Naruto says, well, we should probably continue on. Kiba will walk in, but wouldn't say the same thing about the Rokinon. But, Kabuto will still come up towards Naruto. Well, towards the group, and would still do the car thing. Now, this time, Naruto will ask anything he has any information on Gaara of the Sand. As Naruto will look around and will say the kid with the bushy eyebrows, the other Hyuga that's not Hinata, Shikamaru, Nara, and himself. So, Kabuto asks, Kabuto say why himself, as Naruto says, this is just to show the people. As Naruto would, Kabuto would then read off the cards. Now, this is one of the events that I'm not going to be able to explain that well. Now, with Gaara, he would say that Gaara went on, I believe, a B-rank mission. It came back without a single scratch on him. It's even then shocked to say that this is how it happened on all of his missions, that he hasn't had a single scratch on him at all. As Naruto, as well, he will move on to say Rock Lee. He says he's done a bunch of C-rank missions, a couple B-ranks, and a bunch of D-ranks. Saying that he is personally trained by my guy, and is to be the inheritor of the eight inner gates. As Naruto thinks, Naruto knows what Gaara is from, he can see this, and I don't really want to say that he can sense it, but he can sense the second source of chakra within Gaara. It's being, similar to what's inside of him. So Naruto has learned about the Jinchuriki, so he knows what a Jinchuriki is. So Naruto will suspect that how would Kabuto get this information with him basically being in a whole other village in a Jinchuriki, which mostly all, information on them is kept privately for only the Hokage their Kage to see, not really shared with anyone else but the Jonin Sensei. So Naruto would walk away, as Kabuto would then ask, didn't you want to hear the rest? As Naruto says, you just read the rest of them. I don't truly care anymore. Those were the only two I really cared about. And Shikamaru says, he didn't even care about me. It's not. As Naruto says, oh well. Troublesome bronze. As Naruto will walk towards one of the Chunin instructors that's currently sitting in there. As Naruto says, hey, who's going to be leading this? I have valuable information on most likely a spy in the midst of us. In the midst of these Genins for the Chunin exams. So Chunin will look at him and will nod his head. And will guide Naruto to outside the window. Naruto will open the window and peek his head out, as he will see a man wearing like a... What the fuck is this called? God damn it. A man with a bunch of scars, basically. This being Yubiki. Naruto said, hey, watch out for Kabuto Yakashi. I believe he's a spy sent here for something. As Yubiki would ask, how would he know that Kabuto was a spy? As Naruto would then tell him that Kabuto has information on a Jinchuriki of another village. And with Kabuto, truly not being sent to any other villages on his, most likely, with Kabuto still taking any other shinobi villages, like the 5 grades, even though it's Suna. that he shouldn't even have information on that. And if he was a mission that was secretly given to him, he shouldn't have shared the information with anyone. Hibiki would take this into account and will call forth the Anbu to send word to the Hokage about Kabuto. And they will go on to start the first portion of the Chunin exams. So, starting with this, the Chunin exams is, well, relatively easy for, not easy for Naruto. Well, relatively easy for Naruto. Because of the fact is, Hiruzen had crammed the information that most of the information that Jonin know, which includes, most of the test answers. So Naruto was able to answer all 9 tests without a hitch. Now, the person who's sitting right next to him will be very surprised because the fact is that she know that, this being Hinata always knew that Naruto sucked when it came to written exams and things like this. That he never truly studied for anything. But anyways, an hour later, Ibiki will tell them all to sit their pencils down and will tell them, he would basically tell them about the question and would then explain to them about the 10th question that if any of them answer it and get it wrong, that they won't be able to take the Chunin exams ever again. And, let's just say that basically, Kiba will ask why is there other people who've been able to take Chunin exams again, as Ibiki says that they never had him as a proctor. Now, this will force a lot of people to give up, as Naruto will just sit there with a smile on his face. He's basically figured out Ibiki's mind game. Ibiki sees and says he must have figured it out. To be honest, I truly don't care anymore. As when everyone else that he sees is giving up will clear out, Ibiki would then say, it seems that you all passed. Good. Now, be on your ways. I truly do not want to see you guys again. Naruto will look up and say, wow, very harsh. Ibiki says, you want to know what's harsh? As Ibiki will take off his, what do we call this shit? Damn, what do we call this shit? Not his bandana thing. I had one, his beanie looking thing with the Konohamaru symbol, and will show them his scars from all of his missions and some of his interrogation. Some of his training. So the entire class will be scarred by this, as he says, I can see that some of you guys might have what it takes to become a Chunin, but might not be there all the way there yet. So the entire class will be waiting for the next proctor as Ibiki left the room, as a person would come in and shatter the glass. Purple Ball will come in and shatter the glass, as Naruto will say, I wonder, it must be her, isn't it? As there's one person that Kakashi warned him about. It's always making flashy is it's most likely going to be the proctor of the second exam, after telling Naruto where exactly it's going to be at. And this being Anko Midarashi. Anyways, moving on, Naruto had, basically said, hey, where are we going? Because before Anko could say anything about before Anko could basically give her introduction. So Anko throws a kunai at Naruto and says, don't interrupt me. They cuts Naruto's cheek, as Anko will appear behind Naruto, but this is when Naruto will disappear in a cloud of smoke. Everyone will be shocked as they will say, did he use this? How did she know is that a clone? As Naruto, with the kunai in his hand, sitting at the back of the class, spinning it on his finger, will say, neat trick, but you're too slow. As Naruto would throw the kunai too fast for everyone to see. He would not cut Anko. He will grab Anko's trench coat, like a little part, and will pin her to the wall. His uncle says, damn you kid, this is my good trench coat. He says, follow me. They will go on towards the second portion of the Chunin exams, as Anko will then say, "Welcome everyone to the Forest of Death." And they won't be look at her side. Will cock their head to the side and say, "Huh?" He says, "Don't worry, you'll find out why they call it the Forest of Death soon. It's not just the same thing he does in canon." He says, "They call it the Forest of Death, and you're gonna find out really soon." Anko rolls her eyes. She says, "Here, take these, what is it called? Permission slips, and sign them, so that Konoha is not held liable for your deaths, as killing is, well, mostly advised in this portion." So, Naruto would go on to get the permission slips along with their scroll, and will walk back to Sakura and hand her theirs. They will hand theirs in, and Anko was, as with everyone else, Anko was a start. As Naruto would basically continue on, and Sakura would jump through the forest, continuing on their way toward the tower. As this is when Naruto and Sakura see some people and blurs appear in front of them. As Naruto can see that these people have a musical note on their heads. It's one girl and two dudes, these being Zaku, Dosu, and Ken. They said, "Uzumaki Naruto, right?" Naruto nods his head as he says, "Our master is very mad at you and wants us to kill you. So he couldn't be here to do it himself." He says, "I wonder what they want to kill me for." Naruto says, "Alright, let's get this over with." As Naruto tells Sakura to go and he'll take care of this, because if she gets in his way, then he won't be able to go at all power. Sakura says that she's not weak. Naruto says that's not the point, that they will kill her. They will try to use her against him, and that he doesn't have time to protect her if he's going to defeat them. As Naruto was going through hand sizes as he was doing this, as Dosu jumps towards Naruto, but at a speed that only Naruto could track. As Naruto began to puff his cheeks, as right where Dosu was about to appear, Naruto would then spit out a fireball, setting Dosu on fire. As Naruto would then cover his eye, as Sakura's hidden so she won't see this, Naruto's eye turns red as Dosu says, "That's the..." Naruto then, puts Dosu into casts the Amaterasu onto Naruto. And I'm going to explain why Naruto could do this, along with why Naruto's going to have other abilities of other Mangekyo Sharingans incorporated into his pretty soon. And I'm just going to give you guys a heads up about that. Anyways, moving on, Naruto would basically then disappear, as he would appear behind Zaku. Zaku would say, "So fast." As Naruto would then go on, how do I say this? It would kick Dosu into the branch before Sakura would hear the familiar chirping of 1,000 birds. As he says, Kakashi Sensei must have taught him his technique. As Sakura knows that this technique is a killing technique, so while she's gotten used to seeing killing through Genjutsu, she doesn't think she could take it. Especially seeing the bright Naruto, the bright person that Naruto can do this. So, she obviously not wanting to see this. Would basically, how do I say this? Would basically, cover her eyes and her ears, as the entire forest would then hear Zaku's screams of him being impaled by the Chidori. As Naruto would look at Dosu, who is finally stopped moving, and Naruto predicts that he's probably dead. As Naruto's eye begins to bleed again, as Dosu's flames are put out. As Naruto says, "I guess I hope that teaches him something." As Naruto continue on, as Naruto would appear behind Ken and says, "You're the last one left. Now tell me, where's your scroll?" as Kankuro began to fear Naruto, as Naruto begins to release killing intent that not only probably surpasses her master, but is far greater. As Ken will say, it's what? Zaku has it. Naruto says good. Naruto says now leave. He won't kill her because, well, it serves him no purpose of doing that. His Ken wouldn't live. Well, as we all know, Ken. I don't know how to say this correctly. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. I believe that's how you're supposed to say it. As Ken would then run away. As Naruto would go and search, I believe I said Zaku or Dosu. Zaku has it. I was legit just talking about it and forgot. Anyways, as Naruto would search Zaku, it would tell Sakura to come out. As Sakura would see Dosu completely burnt. As Naruto would then go up to Dosu and would then set him ablaze with Amaterasu again. Sakura would ask Naruto what was the point of that. She didn't catch him using a sharingan in his eye. She didn't catch that. As Naruto says, to get rid of, well, his body. He's gonna stink up the forest. Sakura says, are you just gonna let her go? As Naruto says, no. I was gonna tell you. You should probably go after her. We don't want to leave anyone to tell anyone about our powers. She goes back to her leader who probably sent them to kill me. Then let's just say that if he learns any of my new abilities, he'll most likely try and target me. And Sakura will say, stupid idiot, you couldn't just ask me to take her on in the beginning. And Naruto says, well, I had to scare her first. And Naruto says, you should probably go. And Sakura says, right. Sakura says, oh, by the way, I haven't been here the whole time. And Naruto says, oh, I know. And Sakura basically fades into a, like as she was in a genjutsu. As Naruto sees that Ken is now, Naruto could tell that Ken was in front of him the entire time. As Naruto sees Ken basically frozen in place. As Sakura has stuck Ken inside the same genjutsu Kurenai has stuck her in. Except it's much on a lesser version since, it won't work against genjutsu, especially since Sakura against sharingans or things like that. And Sakura has not that much of a smaller chakra reserve, but a small chakra reserve. So it's not truly that potent. Like, it's like a basic genjutsu basically with Sakura's use. Now I will not yet give a buff to Sakura, but it'll eventually come. Anyways, Sakura then stabs Ken in the head, killing her there. Sakura, leaves the genjutsu and basically vomits after, counseling it. Naruto says, first kill, huh? Sakura says, yeah. So how could you do it? And Naruto says, well, Kakashi Sensei put me under multiple genjutsus where I've had to kill all of my enemies just to save my comrades. Realistic genjutsus at that. So, I got used to it. Sakura says, wow, Naruto, that's pretty cold. Naruto says, come on, let's go. It's already been, what? 4 hours since we started? Yeah. It's been like, 30 minutes since we started to fight them, though, right? Yeah, it has. As Sakura and Naruto will take off towards the tower and will make it within 5 hours of the start of the Chunin exam, setting a new record, which I believe the 4th Hokage's record was a day. And Gaara's team hasn't yet made it there. They will make it I want to say the first day. So yes, they will make it the first day to hear that they didn't break the record of the Yonde. That another team came and made it in 5 hours. So yes, there's a reason why I didn't have a Orochimaru attack. Since no one knows that Naruto was given a Sharingan by Sasuke, Orochimaru doesn't have a need to attack his team, but he wants Naruto dead because Naruto basically ruined his perfect vessel being Sasuke. And he will never be able to get his hands on Itachi. Unless Itachi is severely weakened, and he doesn't know anyone who could possibly go head to head with Itachi. So, yes, there's a reason why Orochimaru didn't attack Naruto. So, anyways, moving on. Naruto and Sakura sit there ready and ready for the next portion of the exam. This is where we get into the 4-day. Well, this is after your Gaara made it. So the next 4 days of the exam, that's what we get into a 4-day time skip, and this is where I'm going to be ending off the what if. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's probably very long. What if? I'm sorry for that, but I truly do hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys later. Drip Kage out.